I got 30-some hoes, you at the crib making TikToks. Perky gon' blow like a 30-6 dog. She gon' fuck my bros, cause I know that she a big dog. I come from the low, but I'm standing at the tip. I got 30-some hoes, you at the crib making TikToks. Perky gon' blow like a 30-6 dog. She gon' fuck my bros, cause I know that she a big dog. I come from the low, but I'm standing at the tip top. Lot of hoes to choose from, I ain't scared to lose one. Bitch, I've been a thought boy since I was reading Goosebumps. Standing on the block, I was testing out my new gun. Mix the off-white with the blue ones. I know I'll be alright when I'm going through some. Got some raw white if you wanna do some. Heard he tryna ball like me, no he got no funds. I got 30-some hoes, you at the crib making TikToks. Perky gon' blow like a 30-6 dog. She gon' fuck my bros, cause I know that she a big dog. I come from the low, but I'm standing at the tip. I got 30-some hoes, you at the crib making TikToks. I like my revolver, but it only got 6 shots. She was built like Sophie Ringo, mama, she a big bug.
Welcome to Just a Tip, and I am in the commander's seat. See what I did there? Commander. Magic the Gathering. I'm King Benjamin Cage, and I'm sitting right next to my homie. I'll let him introduce him damn self.
The Big Bad Brad, a.k.a. Dilly P.
Delonte Fresh.
The Merchant of Moisture.
The Merchant of Moisture. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, dude. We haven't had a stream in a couple weeks now. We've been working on like stuff for the merch site and shit like that. But we figured we'd get one in today. Talk about a little bit of RFK. Whoa, I'm freestyling over here. Right, that shit just rhymed. It flowed off the tongue. Why, like, the lighting over here is much brighter where you're at.
Yeah. I think you need one, just say.
But I'm too bright. No. Like, it's really accentuating my whiteness. I don't like it. But yeah, last you see me, I didn't have these neck tattoos and shit like that. So.
Fresh ink.
Yeah, fresh ink.
Fresh ink.
I got my hair pulled back in the ponytail. Almost cut it off last night. It was getting itchy. It's a lot to deal with. I'm just afraid what it'll look like if I do whack it. I'm talking about my hair still. Also have the last fucking stream we did, I was talking about getting a big Galactus action figure, the HasLab one, and there it is right there with the dual barrels. Salute. He's super cool. Comes with an alternate head and faces. Like, that's like the death mask, and then you could take this part off right here and put on a regular face. Super sick. That was my last purchase a couple weeks ago. So, little decor for the background, but let's get right into shit. Today, I was driving my way to class, and I listen to NPR not because I enjoy their politics. I actually want to hear what bullshit they're saying, but I like the chill atmosphere. It's very low key. They'll play some classical, they'll play some jazz. Their liberal media front, I abhor. I can't fucking stand it. It's gross. It makes my butthole pucker and gives me diarrhea. It's bad. It's bad, dude. It's so bad. It's like almost like it's worse than canned laughter and non-funny parts of fucking sitcoms. It's bad. It's bad. And I'm gonna give you an example about how bad that is. One of the topics that I was listening to was the RFK being grilled on vaccines and more during the Senate hearing. And this was done by Democratic Senator Maria Cantwell. Well, she has some shit to say about our man's RFK. I would say this. I am not a Trump guy. I've said that a million times. You obviously, if you watch me, you know that I just don't fuck with either party. But if there was a bright spot in this administration, I have to say it's RFK. I have to say it's him. He's challenging a lot of fucking shit on the health type thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like just trying to like address like the harmful effects of certain foods, certain things in foods. And it's really fucking weird because throughout all this, these people that are funded by the pharmaceutical industrial complex, they really like to double down and defend their donors, like at all costs. And it's so fucking cringe. And so they'll run little fucking snippets of him saying something that completely out of context. You know, that's how they do with their normal smear campaign bullshit. And but no, this chick here, she's throwing like haymakers while he's not there to receive them on NPR. But we'll give that a listen. And while I smack my mic with my arm, here we go. I think.
Live from NPR News in Washington, I'm Louise Schiavone. Hiring in the U.S. slowed significantly in August. The Labor Department says employers added 22,000 jobs during the month, far fewer than were expected.
That was not it. I didn't click on that.
One of the senators who had tough words for Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. in that contentious hearing yesterday
This is it.
was Democrat Maria Cantwell of Washington, and she's with us now. Good morning, Senator. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning.
As I said, you were among the senators who had some choice words for Kennedy. You called him a charlatan at one point. Did you feel that way before you got to the hearing, or was it something he said during the hearing that brought you to that conclusion?
Well, when I was looking at the huge cut that he is making to help us prepare for the next pandemic and drilled down on all the things he said about vaccines, the word came into my head that this is a guy who's a charlatan. He's falsely claiming expertise, knowledge, producing none of the data, and then putting us into this unbelievable disadvantaged position. And
Sounds like a bit of a projection already.
so just as I prepared for the hearing, the word popped into my head. And then when I looked up the definition, I'm like, oh yeah, this is a charlatan.
Disadvantaged position, you mean?
She had to look up the definition of charlatan.
That's the day and age we live in.
What the fuck? How do you not know what that is?
That's the day and age we live in.
You are a fucking congressman, right? Yeah, something like that. Yeah, you didn't know what charlatan was? That's like fucking fourth grade.
In what? Compared to other countries? Compared to our preparedness for a future pandemic? What did you mean by that?
The 5-year estimate cost on what COVID cost the global economy is $82 trillion. Go online and look at Bill Gates and TED Talk in 2014. He basically said, as a country, we need to prepare for pandemics. That was when Ebola was on the front, right? We didn't know that COVID was going to hit us right hard in the United States, and yet it did. So you have to prepare for these things.
Bill Gates. I'm going to switch to another screen because she brought up Bill Gates. And I looked up Maria Cantwell donors. Did a little homework today. And it says Marie Cantwell has maintained a long-standing pledge to not accept contribution from political action committees, PACs, since her first U.S. Senate campaign in 2000, emphasizing a preference for engaging with voters on special interests. Despite the pledge, her campaign funding comes significantly from individuals, with about 90% of her donations originating from individual contributors, many of whom are located outside Washington state. Her top donors include employees and executives from major corporations and law firms. Microsoft employees, are we drawing the connection yet? Microsoft and Bill Gates, isn't that a thing?
It's a thing.
I think it's a thing. You might want to fact check me on it. All right, Microsoft employees are among her largest contributors, followed by those from a Dallas-based law firm, Barron and Budd. Well, I like the last part. And the Seattle firm Preston Gates and Ellis.
Preston Gates.
Oh,
If there's
Preston.
any relation to
Yeah,
Bill there.
I don't know. That might be a
That
reach.
might be a reach.
But other significant contributors include Boeing and the University of Washington, and individuals from sectors such as securities and investment, computers, internet, and lobbying. There's a good word there. Cantwell also received substantial support through bundle donations via organizations like ActBlue, Emily's List, and the League of Conservation Voters, which channel individual contributions to her campaign. In 2011, ActBlue alone bundled $365,000 for her, while Emily's List directed $83,000. These groups, through not PACs themselves, function as conduits for large volumes of individual donations and are considered influential in applying special interest support. It gets better. Trust me, it does. Additionally, Cantwell has accepted individual donations from executives at corporations with interest in aviation, biotechnology, and alternative energy sectors under the jurisdiction of committees she serves on. Notable individual donors in 2011, Notable individual donors in 2011 include billionaire George Soros, Craigslist founder Craig Newmark, and actress Kate Capshaw. I don't know who she is either.
But she probably got money.
She probably got some loot. She does not operate a leadership PAC, distinguishing her from some of her Senate colleagues. However, critics argue that her reliance on bundled contributions of out-of-state donors undermines the substance of her anti-PAC stance, suggesting it may be more symbolic than effective in limiting special interest influence.
I think lobbying and
So-
PAC should be just eliminated.
Right. Money in politics, that there's no...
Eradicated.
Yes. And you should not be able to influence legislation, especially when it comes to medical, when your donors are benefiting from it. So because you're not for the people at that point. And I've always said, like, you know, you can tell who you're voting for just by looking at their, you know, people that donate to their campaigns. But not a lot of people want to go and do that research. And if you tell them to go do that research, the cognitive dissonance kicks in and it just goes, they don't want to hear it. You can present them with those facts. They're still not going to go, oh, well, yeah, you're right. They're going to blindly do it because Orange Man bad, or it's not on their team. It's on the other side of the aisle. But RFK, we're gonna let it play a little bit more, and then we'll play a little bit of RFK's hearing to kind of see the back and forth banter that they had going there.
Prepare for these things, and what Senator Kennedy is doing by pulling back this money is saying, I'm not going to be prepared. We, the United States, is not going to be prepared for the next pandemic. So that's the problem.
Do you think that the moves that Secretary Kennedy has made since he was confirmed are at variance with what he said during his confirmation hearings? I guess the question is, do you feel that he misled the Senate about his intentions?
Well, absolutely. He said he was going to be the gold standard for science, and obviously he's giving us the bottom of the barrel. He's not giving us the gold standard for science. He's not producing information or individuals. He's basically trying to refute over 100 years of history on vaccines. And that's what I presented at the hearing, a chart that showed the 20th century. Here's what it looked like with all of these issues, measles, polio, and a lot of things being eradicated. And yet he's now saying, I don't know if you should take the measles vaccine. He's promoting a notion that maybe we shouldn't be using these vaccines. So we now have a 400% increase over last year. We're not even halfway through the year, a 400% increase in the number of measles cases. So this is not the goal.
I'm going to do some fact checking on that. Measles uptick, huh? There we go. A significant uptick in measles cases is being reported across the United States and Canada. The U.S. experienced the highest number of cases in 33 years, totaling 1,288 as of July 25th. So is it really 400%? Now, I would argue, and I'm going to be a little rabbit hole-ish here.
Look where they're saying that where the cases have been from, like Texas and New Mexico. Those are large population areas, large population states.
Yeah.
Even in small, tight-knit, close
But also,
communities.
a lot of these injectables that are being taken, a lot of people swear by them, and they think it's just like normal. Like I understand that science is ever, evolving. But when you get all these concoctions put in you, like, what are some of the setbacks? What are some of the, if you get this or you get this shot here, it's almost like the commercials where everybody's happy-go-lucky and the side effects cause like diarrhea, death, and fucking crabs or some shit. Like I'm being funny, but like wow shit, I'll just deal with the ailment at that point. Like what the fuck? But if there is an uptick, I think there are certain vaccinations that are necessary. 100%. But I think there's so many more that are out there because it's money. It's generating revenue to, get your lobbyists out there and have them fucking, pay their politicians to say what they want them to say. So, all right, we're going to give her like another minute of this. I'm not going to listen to the full 5 minutes, and then we're going to go to the RFK little portions.
This is somebody who is undermining the healthcare system.
Some of your Republican colleagues also question the secretary's actions since he took office. You've said you're not going to share whatever they say to you in private. Okay. But if a significant number of you and your colleagues feel misled by what he said during his confirmation hearing and what he's done since, what can they do about it?
Well, we have 2 doctors in the Senate, Republicans, who basically called into question his same cutting of these funds, his lack of support for important vaccines for children, and I hope that they'll prosecute this case. I hope that they will, go to the president and continue to push the fact that this particular nominee did say that he was going to follow science, and he's not following science.
Okay, we're going to end it on that point, because following science anymore is, well, following the money and the people that pay for the science.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Follow the money is like the biggest thing you can say these days.
So
follow the money, see where the money goes.
Now we're going to go to the key moments from the RFK thingy, and it's about 5 minutes here, but there's a lot of back and forth here. Again, as I said, if there is a bright spot in this whole administration, it's this guy calling out the unhealthy living standards of this country's citizen. So, and then the stuff that we're putting in our bodies when it comes to jabby jabs and hokey pokes. Here we go.
The truth, and that's what we're going to give them for the first time in the history of that agency.
Mr. Secretary, thank you for your attention. In June, you fired every member of the well-qualified panel that was charged with recommending vaccines to the CDC. No one in your job has ever fired every committee member all at once. That month, you told the American people that you were, quote, going to bring great people onto the ACIP panel, not anti-vaxxers. Are you aware that another one of these new members, Dr. Levy, wrote that, quote, evidence is mounting and indisputable that mRNA vaccines cause serious harm, including death, especially among young people? Yes or no? Are you aware that he said that?
I wasn't aware he said it, but I think I agree with it.
You agree with it? It's not true.
What?
So he's just gaslighting him?
He said it's not true. There was I forgot what podcast. I wish I'd have fucking watched this beforehand. This is where, because it'd probably be too hard to find right now. But there is with the COVID shot and the booster shot, and they actually did a study, and it said that there was like a significant, I wouldn't say huge, portion of people that die within the first 3 days of getting their shots because it just had an adverse effect. The Operation Warp Speed was a fucking total shit show and stupid. I didn't like that. Was just I think that was a money grab. I also think it was a litmus test. And I also think it was a way to force people to see how willing they were going to be to participate in a society that is controlled by people that are funded by their tax dollars. So, but no, there was if I ever come up with that video, I will air it. I believe Joe Rogan was part of it. I don't think it was on a Joe Rogan show though, but there was some. It was significant, like, day one, adverse effects, day, or day zero, the day they got it. but it's several hundred thousands of people had fucking passed, if not millions, from that. So for this clown to sit here and say this,
I agree with it.
You agree with it? It's not true.
And I applaud you for joining the president in a call for radical
it's
transparency.
not true.
Thank you for that. I said yesterday, I believe it, that President Trump deserves a Nobel Prize for Operation Warp Speed.
So, like, what's the?
Ugh.
Let's kiss some ass, but like, what's?
I don't
Is
know.
that his spot to kiss ass or
The
something?
dude,
Like,
he's on record of saying Operation Warp Speed is the greatest thing known to mankind. Bro, if you still ride that shit, knowing the numbers of people that have had adverse effects, knowing that, I don't know, the response to all this is definitely fucking predetermined. This was a psyop of the fucking highest order. And if people have not drawn that correlation yet, and they're still out there just getting boosters because they hate a certain politician, I guess that's, I don't know, survival of the fittest and smartest at that point. But we'll go back to Bill Cassidy over here.
If he had been President Obama, he would have gotten it. But because of Operation Warp Speed, forcing the federal government to come to a vaccine development within 10 months when others said it couldn't be done, we saved millions of lives globally, trillions of dollars, we reopened economies, incredible accomplishment. Mr. Secretary, do you agree with me that the president deserves a Nobel Prize for Operation Warp Speed?
Yeah, absolutely, Senator. That
So
was phenomenal.
let me ask you, but you just told Senator Bennett that the COVID vaccine killed more people than COVID.
Wait,
That was a
I
statement.
did not say that.
Okay, then let me ask, because you also.
Senator, I just want to make clear, I did not say
Well,
that.
we'll check the record, that's a question of fact.
Let's clear this up right now, Secretary
This
Kennedy. Will you tell America that all adults and all children over 6 months of age are eligible to get a COVID booster at their local pharmacy today?
Anybody can get the booster.
I'm sorry?
Anybody can get it, Senator.
Anybody. So you're saying that is now the official rule of HHS. Anybody is eligible to get a booster by just walking into the pharmacy.
It's not recommended for healthy people.
No. If you don't recommend, then the consequence of that in many states is that you can't walk into a pharmacy and get one. It means insurance companies don't have to cover the $200 or so cost.
We're not going to recommend a product for which there's no clinical data for that indication. Is that what I should be doing?
I don't see
He's not
how
wrong.
you go over 4 weeks from a public health expert with unimpeachable scientific credentials, a longtime champion of MAHA values, caring and compassionate and brilliant microbiologist, and 4 weeks later fire her because at least the public reports say because she refused to fire people that work for her. I do also believe that some of your statements seem to contradict what you said in the prior hearing. You said you're going to empower the scientists at HHS to do their job. I'd just like to see evidence where you've done that.
Mr. Secretary, you choose to know answers to questions with some colleagues. And
I'm willing to give you the answer. I'm willing to give you the
Mr.
answer.
Secretary, someone should have asked you, maybe President Trump should have asked you, are you a trustworthy person? And we should have waited for an answer then. Let's move
I don't
on.
even know what you're talking about. You're talking gibberish.
Mr. Kennedy, with all the questions here today, people just want to know the truth.
I feel like this guy's just an agitator. I don't know what they're clipping, but
Yeah.
it just looks like this guy's like the agitator of the conference.
I'm gonna know who it is, so I can look up his sponsors.
I'm going to pray for you, Secretary Kennedy. I hope we do better. I want you to do better. But today was a failure for you, man.
The entire
This fucking clown.
on one side, you have the AMA
This old Muppet looking ass fucking dude here, looking like he's in the goddamn balcony, the Muppet Show. Yeah, the Burn. At one point in time, I understood the attraction to the Burn because he was just like, I don't know, like free this, free that. Nothing's free because somebody's providing the labor and efforts. So the cost has to come from somewhere. His legitimacy is absolute dog shit. He does like a broken clock. You know, he's right like twice a day probably. But No, the moment that he exposed the Clintons or Hillary Clinton campaign of rigging the DNC against them because he got more support than what he was supposed to have, and probably should have won that primary. He exposed it, and then obviously, you know, he ended up going from one house to having like 3 or 4 houses, maybe something like that, and then ended up backing her as a, you know, in that campaign. Like he said, you fucking hosed me here. You cheated to get where you are, but I'm going to back you. Anything, anybody that can fucking say that and then back the person that fucked them, you're a special kind of fucking retarded. Like, what the fuck, man?
Expose this corruption, but I'm going to back you.
Right. Even though you fucked me over hard, you have my support. Yeah. So anything this dude says, more often than not, I just go, you're like,
who's paying you? That's
yeah.
Who's
Yeah. And they're like, well,
who's paying you, Burn Dog?
Yeah. Well, in previous hearings, RFK has exposed that. Well, you took money from this, you know, lobbyist, da 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 da. He's called him on it. So let's see this interaction.
Representing hundreds of thousands of doctors, the American Academy of Pediatrics, the American Public Health Association, all of these organizations are telling us that COVID vaccine and vaccines in general are safe and effective. You are casting doubt on that.
What you're talking about, there's a big difference, Senator, between established science and the scientific establishment, which has been co-opted by the pharmaceutical industry.
So you're telling the American people that the American Medical Association, representing hundreds of thousands of people, have been co-opted?
And I'm telling you, the American Heart Association has been co-opted by the food.
Everybody but you, Senator. But you know what? When you ran for president, you know, we have a corrupt campaign finance system. Maybe you agree with me on that.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The issue is every time anyone
are you saying the pharmaceutical industry was supporting?
Swing on him.
No, I'm not
He
saying
was full
that.
burn.
I'm saying the pharmaceutical industry is a greedy institution which are charging us the highest prices in the world. They are pervasive. But to suggest that every institution, the AMA, the pediatrics people, is corrupt because they disagree with you, isn't it?
They're corrupt because they're donors of all the people you're sitting with, homie. They are the science. They're going to say, go say this. They're not going to go out there and say, our product sucks. Go tell them that. They're not going to fucking say that. They're corrupt, bro. I shouldn't be surprised from a guy that backed somebody that fucked them.
It's not, listen.
All right.
Nice way to end on the Burn Dog. Bro.
Yeah. Fucking burn.
Swing on him.
All right, so now we're going to go from, you know, them taking your tax dollars to putting fucking weird stuff in your body and calling it health to, wow. Our homie Thomas Massie paraded a group of alleged victims of the Epstein person. And Trump is still calling it a Democratic hoax. So if, like, we all know it's not a hoax. Like that is like, that's his go-to thing now. Oh, it's a Democratic hoax. Everything's a Democratic, because anything that's against him is a Democratic hoax. It's just like, it's almost like he's saying that everything is racist or everything is homophobic. That's his pearl clutch. That's his little avoid accountability phrase. So it kind of demeans and diminishes any of the things that they have. Like if those stories are true, which a lot of them seemingly are, then you're just telling them they're full of shit and they don't matter. That's how it comes across to me. But Thomas Massie brought him out there, and everybody's like, well, why didn't they just fucking drop names, this, that, and the other thing? Which at first when I saw it, I was like, well, yeah, this is like almost like a fucking, like a movie trailer or something. Like they're not saying anything. They're saying something, but they're not saying who. And then after a long thought, I think about it, and then he had also, you know, posted and said that, you know, if they go out there and start name dropping, like they'll be sued to oblivion, maybe even fucking unalived, who knows?
Magical
like you start,
car accident.
yeah.
How'd you get shot and
car
accident?
Yeah, how'd you get robbed, and your wallet's still on you?
Right.
But So that happened this week. I'm not going to go over that, but like I went to Thomas Massey's page and I saw this and it looks like a little bit of James O'Keefe action here. And that dude is pretty fucking, he's a witty dude. From one witty dude to the next. This guy he's got fucking stones on him, dude. So we'll watch this here and see what's up. We'll interrupt here and there.
Yeah, thousands and thousands of pages of files. They'll redact every Republican or conservative person in those files, leave all the liberal, Democratic people in those files.
They visited that Maxwell person.
Yeah.
Also involved.
Got transferred to a minimum security prison too recently, which is against BOP policy because she's a convicted sex offender. They're offering her something to keep about something.
That was the acting deputy chief of the Office of Enforcement Operations, Joseph Schnitt, telling a stranger about the FBI and DOJ's handling of the Epstein files. Schnitt, who works at a high level inside the Department of Justice, goes on to comment on the inconsistent statements, special treatment of Ghislaine Maxwell, and the blatant backtracking on promises of transparency.
What do you do for work here?
I work for the Department of Justice.
Okay.
Been there like 23 years. I'm an analyst.
Analyst.
I'm the acting deputy chief of our office for a few months, starting next week. I work closely with like all the federal law enforcement agencies, and the U.S. Attorney's offices, the prosecutors and stuff. The thing is, it's such a
Bros, if you're going out with a shorty and she happens to look hot, and she got them Meta fucking Ray-Bans on. She's just not that into you.
She's just not that interested in you, buddy.
She's asking some questions. Like,
smart.
what the fuck?
That's crazy. Like
he does this a lot, though. He
He's just
infiltrates
spilling
these
the tea.
homies by doing that.
This guy's supposed to be in the DOJ, and he's just spilling his own tea. Like, hey, that's what I do.
Yeah. What the fuck? All right, here we go.
You're saying because I do deal with so many agencies, like the prisons, the Marshal Service, the FBI, U.S. Attorney's offices.
Recently, the FBI and DOJ have come under fire for promising transparency, then refusing to release footage and unredacted documents, going directly against the public's expectations and the promises made by Attorney General Pam Bondi and FBI Director Kash Patel. In a DOJ press release, Attorney General Pam Bondi stated, quote, "This Department of Justice is following through on President Trump's commitment to transparency and lifting the veil on the disgusting actions of Jeffrey Epstein and his co-conspirators," unquote, and also claimed they were shedding light on Epstein's extensive network, only to later claim that Epstein was acting alone, and that the only video evidence they had was of Epstein's personal child porn collection.
Also, to the tens of thousands of video, they turned out to be child porn downloaded by that disgusting Jeffrey Epstein. Child porn.
Who she helped out in Florida.
In the same press release, Kash Patel
A long time
claimed,
ago.
quote, "There will be no cover-ups, no missing documents, and no stone left unturned."
So on the Epstein matter or any other matters, we are diligently working on that. I'm not going...
That dude.
He's a joke. He's getting stupid rich right now.
He reminds me of a cross between Phil and a pug.
Oh God!
You can't
Who's
unsee it now.
Who's that one hated comedian?
Hated comedian.
Aziz Ansari.
He's on what?
Aziz Ansari, because he's like friends with Kanye or whatever. He's like personal friends with Kanye.
No, I don't know who that is.
He's like hated in the comedy scene, but like, dude, he looks like Aziz Ansari, dude. He's just an Aziz.
This dude's body language is just dog shit. Like, you couldn't lie your fucking way out of anything,
how
dude.
relaxed he is on podcasts, and like he just does multiple podcasts, but you're.
His body language just screams, "I'm full of shit."
...to
Look at
withhold information
See.
from the American public ever.
Only to later claim on Joe Rogan's podcast that releasing any videos would re-victimize those impacted.
That is the biggest bullshit fucking reason right there. We don't want to re-victimize these people, but we don't want to hold the people that victimize them accountable. So you don't have to re-victimize these people. You can note who's in these fucking videos and go, okay, or like, we have videos of this. Like, we're not going to tell who they did it to, but you know what I mean? You don't have to re-victimize them. So that's the biggest fucking bullshit line. Like, you know, like,
Especially when you have survivors wanting to come out and talk about it, like all of it.
Right.
So they're just re-victimizing themselves at this point.
Right.
So obviously, there's point of awareness.
Yeah. And the fact that like even when like with like that little snippet before this where Pam Bondi was talking, that was when they asked Trump several months ago, like, you know, what's going on with this? And he goes, "Are we still talking about this guy? Are we still are we really talking about this guy? It's like, how old is this? We should be talking about this, that, and the other thing." And then like fucking 2, maybe 3 days later, they come out with the FBI found a secret room in the headquarters where they found partially burned documents that they were spying on Trump, this, that, and the FBI, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, found like some Dungeons and Dragons corridor where all this shit was somewhat, you know, fucking seared, but it was still, you know, readable, and they never knew it was there. But we're going to drudge up something from fucking years ago to smear something or to erase something that they're talking about that happened allegedly years ago that you said, like, why are we still talking about this? Or why are you still talking about that? Why you bring that up? Come up with some new shit. These psyops are terrible.
Women. We're not going to put that shit back out there. Not happening. Because then he wins. Not doing it. You want to hate me for it? Fine.
You know, internally, there's a lot of, even within the administration, there's internal conflict.
Okay.
Like, head of FBI really wants it. Second in command at FBI has been like causing problems because he's like, no, these have to be released. And,
Yeah. So the FBI wants them out.
yep, the top 2 guys there do.
And Bondi does it.
I don't know what Bonnie wants. Bonnie wants whatever it's on.
Sure.
Why is there suddenly this
Damn.
internal conflict within the same administration that aggressively campaigned in 2024 to fully release the Epstein files to the American public? What new revelations did the DOJ and FBI make to now say that an incriminating client list does not exist? DOJ analyst Joseph Schnitt comments on these inconsistencies and informs our undercover journalist that even if anything...
I'm going to look something up here real quick, and I'm going to do it live on stream. Okay. Attorney General. I got to look, and my pecking order is terrible. Of Florida during Epstein. Oh, shit.
Oh shit!
Whoa!
Oh shit!
Holy shit!
Talk about the correlation there.
Ladies and gentlemen, I don't do enough fucking podcasts, but man, this is starting to catch a little fucking. This is graceful.
Yo. That's so
this is graceful.
Such a disturbing revelation.
Look at that. That's fucking crazy. That. Wow. Damn. For anybody that's not able to read the screen right now, I'm going to give you my best impression of somebody that knows how to articulate something written in front of them. Pam Bondi was Attorney General of Florida during the period when Jeffrey Epstein crimes were being investigated, and when he was ultimately charged in 2019, she served as Florida's 37th Attorney General from January 4th, 2011 until January 8th of 2019, which covers the time frame from Epstein's 2009 jail release to the filing of federal criminal charges against him in 2019. A law professor has stated that Bondi could have tried Epstein while she held that office. Bondi has been involved in recent controversy surrounding the release of Epstein-related files, with her office concluding that Epstein died by suicide in jail and that no client list exists. She is scheduled to testify before Congress on October 9th, 2025 regarding the Department of Justice handling of the Epstein case.
No, too many people have left the country celebrity-wise for there not to be a client list. Too many. This shit's getting covered up way too, or attempted to be covered up.
Yeah.
We're not talked about enough because there are politicians on that list.
And then you look at like how all these terrible accusations and stories that you developed with the Diddy stuff. And like none of that stuff even got brought up in the trial that you could see anyways. And there was some heinous fucking things talked about that I'm not even going to mention on stream, but to fucking like it really got washed over. And so you can't tell me that there isn't some intersecting paths between these people and these higher places and the Jeffrey guy and those like there's probably a whole fucking network of it just going back and forth. They've crossed paths. There's definitely been,
100%.
yeah. So
New York, of course, two people in New York like that.
right, it's fucking wild, dude. You know what I don't like is when I get Snapchat notifications from a person I don't even follow. Like, watch this. I didn't subscribe to you. Get the fuck out of here. All right, we're gonna let this roll wrap up.
To be released, it would be heavily redacted in favor of the Republican Party, indicating.
I don't think that'll be it.
I hope it's not redacted.
Because if they do get one that's redacted and they do that, the left's going to be like, no, motherfucker, you were there too. I don't think we're getting anything. I really don't.
That this DOJ official, Joseph Schnitt, probably leans Democrat.
Do you think like the stuff with Epstein will actually get released or not at all?
If it does, it'll be heavily redacted, and his name won't be in it.
But those files do exist.
There's files.
Yeah.
For sure. There's thousands and thousands of pages of files. But again, if they're released,
Does this dude have a job anymore?
but anyway,
National security's at an all-time
they'll
low right
redact
now.
every
This guy in office.
Republican
In any
or conservative person
involved.
in those files. Leave all the liberal, Democratic people in those files, and have a very slanted version of it come out where it's like look at what he's doing without releasing any of their bad behavior.
This is James O'Keefe. You know me for exposing the truth and holding the powerful accountable. But today,
James O'Keefe just puts his fucking nuts on the table every goddamn time. Fucks given 00.
I want to talk to you about protecting your own freedom, starting with your finances. Right now, the warning signs are everywhere.
Oh, come on. Don't do that to us, Mr. O'Keefe.
Interest rates and inflation remain high, and everywhere you look, your hard-earned money help first responders. Now, 1,000 help you get started protecting your wealth with real. Get the facts and protect your future.
Oh, come on.
And they're not supposed
There
to
we
be
go.
minimum security prisons, which is an interesting detail because she's getting a benefit, which means they're offering her something to keep her mouth shut.
The difference between a low security prison and a minimum security prison is that minimum security prisons are designed for non-violent offenders with short sentences. They often have no perimeter fencing, and inmates are housed in dormitory-style rooms. We looked into the Bureau of Prisons policies, and Schnitt's claim is in fact correct. Convicted sex offenders are historically ineligible for minimum security facilities. Schnitt is also very credible by virtue of where he works inside the Department of Justice. This raises significant questions about why Ghislaine Maxwell was provided such special treatment at a time where the DOJ and the FBI are under heavy scrutiny for their handling of the Epstein files. The DOJ and FBI have continually promised transparency to the country. Why was the case's most significant witness transferred to a more comfortable prison life, all while Epstein's victims were still not receiving the justice they deserved? Why does it take a random girl in Washington, D.C. for someone like Joseph Schnitt to open up? Why are top DOJ officials spilling all these secrets in restaurants, while the American people are not necessarily afforded the same transparency that they're promised? It doesn't make any sense. What we're looking for is people on the inside of the government to step forward for your private actions to match your public actions, to stand by the truth. And if you know more about this, please email us at tips@o'keefemediagroup.com or text us at 914-491-939.
Damn. Tips. Just the tip. Fucking A, dude.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so that was fucking cool to stumble across that. Like, I always, like, you see some of the shit. He's chased people down. He's actually did interviews in person before. We just wore like a fucking Clark Kent glasses and went out there and, you know, did his own. The dude does the footwork. The dude gets results. And again, if you're a high-ranking official or work for the fucking Fed somewhere that has a lot of information, stop going on date with randos.
100%.
You're gonna get fucking clowned. you're gonna get clowned hard. O'Keefe has got them ladies, man. You got them ladies. You're gonna send them out. You're gonna make you think it's Hordash or Tinder or some shit, and you're just spilling the beans about, the fuckery that is our government and the all-time low that the people have trust in their government. I don't expect to change anybody's mind by doing these things. But if I change one, it's a success.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah. But that was just a little Google search there. Like, who was the Attorney General of Florida when this shit was going on?
The correlation's crazy.
Wow. And then, again, when you see one of these fucking idiots in Congress just sitting there spouting off and getting loud, thinking being loud is more authentic than being fucking accurate,
Getting paid.
Google their name and their fucking sponsors and their donors, and then you will find out.
The money.
You will find out who they're truly speaking for, because I sure as shit can tell you it ain't you or me. But on that note, we gonna wrap up. We're gonna get the fuck out of here, get some food. Then we're gonna head into work and do what the fuck we do. So we're gonna ask everybody to stay tuned. We're gonna try to do more shows. I say that all the time, but like I get so much shit to do, and I just feel comfortable doing it when somebody else is here. Doing it by myself, it feels like I'm talking to myself. But yeah, we're gonna try to get this going. But we appreciate you tuning in. So y'all stay moist.